Thank you for being on standby. You are still locked onto mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. This is Mainland Focus, where we pick two stories from the many that have been discussed, and then we give you an opportunity to also opine on these matters. What are your thoughts regarding these conversations? Of course, Fouad Said has done the best he can to explain these stories to us, to sort of dig out the facts that lies in between all of the bulky reports that we have in the papers. It helps you pay attention to the most significant aspects of these reports. Hopefully it helps you to form your own thought as we begin to take your contributions on these subject matters. Two stories, as expected, have been selected for discuss. But before we get into that, I would like to please ask that you join the live stream, because you can communicate with us via the live stream. And so we would like to take as many contributions as possible. We do understand that the phone lines can become jammed once we start taking phone calls, and so we're giving you an opportunity to also participate via the live stream, which is on Facebook and on YouTube. It is at mainland 98.3 FM. So join the live stream, use the live chat option or the comment section if you like, and drop your contributions to the matters that we would be speaking about in just a few seconds. You can also call. I'll give out the numbers after the story. You can send a WhatsApp message and you can call via WhatsApp. So that's about 3 different ways, if not 4, that you can communicate with us on Mainland Focus. My name again is Sage Babalola. The program is Mainland Focus. The station is Mainland 98.3 FM. Well, back to the main report. For Mainland Focus, we are talking 2 issues. Oversight concerns as Assembly hastily passed 34.63 trillion budget. And I will just read to you a part of the Guardian report, because that's where we're taking our story from. And then I would tell you all the angles that we would be exploring this morning as we talk about this particular report by the Guardian newspaper. It says, from northwest to southwest to southeast to northeast, across south-south and north-central, budgets are assuming a strangely similar pattern. Hasty legislative processes that return the figures to chief executives almost unchanged from the version released. Amid speedy passage, some state assemblies are returning the executive bill to the governors without the slightest change in the figures. In Edo, Ekiti, and Enugu states, the governors had the appropriation passed to them as transmitted to the lawmakers. There's fears that the emerging trend points to deeper structural defects that are eroding the very essence of the democratic system, strong checks and balances, while reducing the state's budget to mere chief executive wish list. We have most of the state appropriation, which the Guardian understands were on hold in wait for the federal government's budget, were hurriedly submitted towards the end of the year and in December. The Guardian is now referencing the National Assembly and how this behavior is something that isn't necessarily strange, the pattern that we have become all too familiar with, especially with the State Assembly, where legislative bills or bills generally are not really scrutinized to the extent that pleases the general public, and that oftentimes, for example, when bills come from the executive, there's hardly any look at the content, at the core of these particular bills. They just go on ahead and to assent or to sign it, I beg your pardon, or to pass that particular bill. And so this behavior has now trickled down to the State Assembly. The Guardian report is drawing our attention to the fact that the State Assembly barely scrutinized budgets. In fact, we've seen some that has been passed less than 24 hours after it was brought to them. And so what about cases where there is multiplicity or duplicity of projects? What about the instances of budget padding? How do you in 24 hours look through this particular budget to the point where you'd be able to notice anomaly? You have to take time to study that particular budget. That's the only way you can figure out if anything is wrong. That's the only way that you can cite manipulation. That's the only way you can ensure that financial misappropriation is not happening. And so the Guardian is concerned. Why is it that even the state assemblies are not taking their time to look through the budget? As long as it gets to them, they just send it back to the governors. The whole point of the State Assembly or the National Assembly looking through budgets is so that they can debate it. They can invite this ministry, departments, and agencies to come and defend what they're asking for. Right? Because if you submit that, oh, we need 5 trillion naira for our operations for the fiscal year, the responsibility falls on the National Assembly. I'm talking the national level now, not State Assembly. The National Assembly to invite whatever ministry this is You're asking for 5 trillion naira. Why do you want 5 trillion naira? What are the projects that will be executed? What's the duration of the projects that will be ensure that the 5 trillion collected is actually used for the purpose that have been listed here? These are some of the very pertinent questions that the State Assembly, the governor, what then is the responsibility of the state or even the National Assembly? So we're talking about the credibility of the assemblies, both the national and the state. Anything that these ministries, agencies have put there, anything that has been written there is acceptable. Where is the place of questions? Where is the place of accountability? Where is the place of check of the president for the emerging economy of the world? Collaboration between countries, amongst other things. Now, the president had departed the coast to attend the summit. Mind you, reports this morning indicates that said summit that he's supposed to leave the country for, the one he left the country for, is not until the 11th of January. Where then is the president going? Europe is where the president. Why is he there? Is he going to be there until the 11th of January before he goes to Abu Dhabi? Is he going to make a detour? Uncomfortable. You need to give us information. When is he going to be back? Where would he be in Europe before he goes to Abu Dhabi for that summit? So let's talk about how the lack of information oftentimes open how long he's going to be there for. We don't know when he's coming back in some term consequence, and what exactly do we expect when it comes to proper information, to bridge the information channel that exists between the citizenry. The phone line again, 0913 6000 410. We do have what number. If you don't want to send a WhatsApp message, you can call WhatsApp as well, especially if you're outside the country. 0913 6000 430. We're still live on Facebook and on YouTube at Mainland 90. Good morning.
My name is Samuel. Compliment of the same to you.
Thank you.
Thank God for your life and your station for the good work you people are doing there. The issue is that this is how we are going to continue of this president. You said that the speed at which to the federal level. These are the reasons why governments are migrating from their party to APC, because it's a capture state. This is more or less
all right, let's take another phone call. I think we've logged you on.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm well.
Merry Christmas in yes, and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you.
One of my friend Fouad.
His Grace, thank you.
Yeah, God bless from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To anybody, especially many Nigerians, that we are running this station as defined by Mr. And Nigerians have to shine their eyes.
Please, can you speak to the budget situation in itself so we don't
our politics? Because as you have asked the necessary to APC, it's the same way they are approving the...
Oh, please turn down the volume on your radio. Good morning.
I've done that. Good morning, thanks.
Yes,
how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Thanks to Mainland's why you will not see the members of the House make any complaint over the budget section of this new democracy since 1999. So they are trying to protect their pockets, not the billions. This is how it happened across every state.
Thank you.
And that is why the reason, if I have issues, opportunity to discuss with people, I always tell people that, look, the problem is not only the presidency. You see, all these our governors,
thank you.
All these our local government.
Thank you very much. Please, when we say thank you, please round off your thoughts, okay? Please. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Okay. Make it back, I guess. 09136000 410 is the number to dial. 09136000 410. Again, please, when we say that, a round of your thoughts, or when we start to say thank you, when we start to prompt you, a round of your thoughts, that's not the time for you to pick on a new angle that you'd like to explore. Please, let's stick to 1 minute. I can give a few more seconds, yes, to let you land, but let's not take advantage of that and start to speak for 2 minutes. Thank you very much for understanding. We have a message here, which I would read after we take this phone call. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning. We are straight for this government. I want to tell you, how can we do it? Do you think Nigeria are dumb? Somebody president wants to travel. You don't want to know how he's traveling. You don't want to tell us the way he's traveling. You don't want. How can a president, maybe a country, more than 11 days to the program you want to go and do. Where does that happen? And where are you going? You don't want to tell where you are going, where you are coming back. What kind of country are we living? Is this a place people should be ashamed? If you are not fit to be in position, come down for other people. I say when it is coming, my pastor always said something. When you take life, when you like to be people, you will need another life to complete the weather the what you started with. So it is better to us. Now, please, if you say that the truth, please go to stay there to 2027. We are going to go there, but the only day that is going to live there, they should repent and give their life to Christ. Please, thank you.
Okay, that was very exciting close. Okay, we have messages here. Alhaji Soliu Adebisi Oguntoku from GRA Ikeja says, "Good morning, Sage and Fuad. Seeing to the security of this country is just one out of the many things that the president of Nigeria. So the president can decide to travel out of the country to attend to other things. You cannot say that because we are currently engaging in the bombing of terrorists, the president should not travel out to attend to other things. This is because he now has a competent minister of defense who can attend to the issue of security. Are we saying that if the bombing of terror is required, he can easily be reached digitally? Thank you and have a pleasant week." All right, while you're talking there with a message, we have shame will not allow them tell us that the president. Okay, thank you. We have here, I greet the whole house. This is Triple A from Ojo. If somebody says prayers does not work, I weep for such a fellow. Did Mr. Trump and I don't understand. Is it that people don't know what we're talking about this morning? Maybe there's a little bit of a confusion there. We're talking first of all, right, about the speed with which they pass this particular budget has become worse. That's not enough time for you to scrutinize the budget of the state. That's not enough time for you to probe each MDA. That's not enough time for you to check if there's been budget padding or if there is some sort of any similarities that would most likely cause poor performance like the one that you saw the other time. And so the National Assembly have also been referenced that maybe this is the State Assembly taking a page from the book of the National Assembly, where most times anything that comes to them, especially from the executive, does not go through fire. There's hardly any scrutiny. They just look at it, it's in story, the departure of the president, the ambiguity of the press release that told us about it. So please let your messages correlate with the two stories that have been put on the table this morning for Mainland Focus. We're still on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. Tell me your name, where you're calling from. If you'd like to address both stories, manage your time appropriately. If you'd like to address one, please stick to the focus of the day. Many thanks. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Madam Sage.
Good morning to you.
Okay.
All right.
The first, the rules on ground. I haven't been in a position of first in the past. I want people to know my evolution. In those days, it used to be a separation of power. Every arm of government will do their budget and submit it. But these days, they want to join bureaucracy and all the budgeting process. A kind of call up everybody submit your own proposal for next year. But now, the bureaucracy of the legislation, the National Assembly at the state level, they work day to day to prepare the budget from day one. And because of that, they even have consultants. They have budget consultants. So that our legislators, they don't need to even go and be doing the budget in the Ministry of Budget at the state or at the federal level. This is what I want people to note. So, at the time of completion, each arm of government is having what we call drafts of the complete budget for the year. I was on duty. I did all these things in my life.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your call. Hello. 09136000410. We have a message here. Good morning, Sage. Compliment of the season. I think Mr. President is trying to hide for some troubles in the country. Maybe he's not safe, and he may not be open to us protect the president. I don't see how a situation would force the president to leave the country for fear of his life. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. But Okay. Good morning, Sage. The president is checking out to have rest based on his age. His media aides are trying to make it sketchy on reasons. We want to know which country our president is and the gain of his visit to that country. Noah from Igwado. Let's keep the calls coming in. 0913-6000-410. The WhatsApp line is also available. 0913-6000-430. Hello.
Hello. This is Wally calling from Arabo.
All right, please go ahead.
On the budget, I think the state legislative, they should eliminate the National Assembly. They should people of integrity. These are people of good pedigree. They do a good job in the National Assembly. So the state legislative also should eliminate them. A National Assembly, a legislative, must collaborate with the executive. Must collaborate. When people complain about National Assembly, I just laugh. It will not be a fight. Yes, I'm happy about it. So I want the state legislative, let them emulate the National Assembly and the good job the National Assembly is doing. So that's my thing.
All right. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Iḻᴏᴜ
You most likely would have to call us back. You don't have great connection. Hello.
Good morning, Sage.
Good morning to you.
This is Keith. I'm calling from Lagos Island.
Welcome.
So you're talking about the speedy passage of the budget, right? If someone is telling us the budget system must have done a good job and the House of Rep or the Senate does not need to scrutinize it, they should just pass it into law, then we don't need the Senate and the House of Reps again now. Sure, you get my point. Yeah, I've always been of the view that if these people can't do their oversight functions anymore, which is to checkmate the executive, pass law, deliberate on things that will affect the citizens, then we should scrap the House of Assembly, scrap the Senate. They should all go back to their professions, and when it's time to deliberate, they should put on their system, upload their phone, and deliberate on Zoom. Because we can't be paying those humongous amounts to them as salaries and allowances, and they don't do anything. Then for the president always getting out, I would always seem to know where he is. People should forget that. We should not forget that once the president leaves the country, that is the father of the nation. I couldn't just leave like that. I will not be speculating. He go Europe. Europe is plenty. Tell us exactly where he went to Europe.
I think you accidentally put us on hold. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Good morning to mainland. And Happy New Week.
Thank you.
It's Vivian Love calling from Oshod.
Welcome.
For me, thank you. For me, the president traveling by this time that we're having insecurity is not a good idea. It's not a good one. Okay, now that we have the Americans helping us out, he's supposed to be around to join hands, as in to show that yes, he's ready for us. He's ready for his people early. The way this government are taking the life of, as in the way the government are working is so. And as for that the tax of a thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. We appreciate you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is Okangolina.
Yes.
You see, this General Assembly is a reflection of what we see in the state. So the governors are riding roughshod over them. Anything they write as a budget, what will be passed? What are you going to do? Go to the National Assembly, the president. Am I lying? So let us not confuse these things. They are on their own. They can do anything they like. So these people are just collecting money from us for nothing. If it's me, they should scrap all those, both Senate, everything. Let the president and the governor, let them operate. If they want to carry all our money, let them carry. Have you ever heard that a president in the United States went to somewhere and didn't tell his people?
Thank you for calling.
So
good morning. Good morning, Sage.
Good morning to you.
This is Mr. James.
Welcome.
So I think what we are discussing about concerning about the budget not being scrutinized is something that has always been on the side of politics. Just scratch my back while I scratch yours. It's all about when you allow what I present to go, then believe you will be well taken care of. So that has been and he left we people in a mess in terms of social development and all of that. And the money where you kind of maybe some of 50,000 would have been spent to carry out maybe a certain contract. You find out that over 1 million will be spent on all these things going on, and nobody is rising to stop it. It continue unabated, and I just don't know when we are going to get it right, and that's why I'm so fearful, and that's why I'm so disturbed, because everything seems like every now and then new kind of idea of politics is being created, and everybody dives into it, and continues like that. Thank you very much. That's my submission this morning.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Good morning. Thank you.
God bless you. My name is Peter Usifu. I'm calling from Abanaje. Yes, people can call it rubber stamping, but the Americans call it lobbying in democracy. We don't expect difference as such, especially when in the states the governors control the. A good example was when Governor Lɪਧᴇ told us that he bought forms for people who went into House of Assembly in Rivers State and even the National Assembly. So, in as much as there's no viable opposition in the states, and of course on the national level, we cannot get any difference. You understand? The state budgets will be passed as such. So, it is only in certain policies, like for instance, this tax reform bill that has become an act, that there was difference, in debate, carrying of chairs if possible. You understand? In certain places. Even in America, a couple that from Europe will now move to United Arab Emirates. Yeah, people have said that they have to know the reason why they travel and where and when they will come back.
All right. Hello. Hello.
Oh, good morning, Darren.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I think this is the only time the Tinubu time they do lobbying. That's not lobbying, no, as far as I'm concerned. I want to talk about my president traveling. You see, when you bring out yourself, if you notice me in this, many people, they know the life of Madam Isi, because I've been on this talk in the last 16 years, since 2009. When I was sick, I told one other radio station that I used to call that, see what is happening. I'm suffering from sciatic nerve and spondylitis. You were always asking me, Madam, are you still in the hospital? Until I did my surgery. Were you not?
I was.
Even our life is Madam. So why should my president not tell me what he's going to do in Europe? I'm going for a checkup in my hospital in France. Nobody will carry bongo on you. You're a human being. You are not in your 60, 70, maybe 80. You are going to fall sick. You tell the world. You don't hide it. Let me know. From there, I would have moved, not using your voice as an assistant, as a deputy. Every time you walk away as if you think, what can they do? It's not right. It's not right. If anything happened to him somewhere, anywhere he is now, Nigerians don't know. Then he traveled to France. Look now, that is a house in Florida. Everybody knows. Everybody must know yourself.
Thank you, Madam.
Don't hide it. You're a public property.
Thank you so much for calling. You have a wonderful morning. Hello. The volume on
the president. We should be praying for the president at a time like this, because the man is surrounded by some enemies. But when the condition is not favorable, you don't blame the president. He can escape for his life for a moment and still return to the nation. That's how it is.
Well, why do you say that he's running for his life? What does that even mean? Somebody has sent a message like that.
I didn't say he's running for it. I didn't say it's running. I say he may be escaping for something.
What's the difference between escaping and running? It's just different.
Yeah, because I'm not in a position to make it assertive to say that maybe this is what he's doing. I wouldn't know.
Please don't push the narrative. Don't push the narrative is what I'm saying.
I'm not pushing. I'm just telling you. I say he may be doing something for personal reason. Let me put that away, for personal reason. So nobody should blame him for that. it's good for him and for the entire nation. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
So in a normal situation, why not? He can always make his plans known. But sometimes it's good to keep certainty to himself for the good of all of us. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
It's not everything you blame the president.
All right. Thank you very much for your insight. Hello.
Hello, Lady Sage.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
My name is Prince Wyatt. Only you from Oshodi, the city in the center of universe. This is number one in the state assembly. In my local government to debate about it. What are we talking about? Even though my state of show that our road are abandoned. So if you now take a budget to the state assembly and whether they include the road on that budget or not, how will we know? We sponsor it to that state assembly or national assembly. They must do their work. That's part of democracy. They must do it. Number two, Mr. President traveling abroad. It's a simple sentence. Mr. President travel to London, travel to France, definitely. But by debating this thing, it's not what every ministry is in place. Everybody must do his work. And if I want to talk to Mr. President, if I have his phone number, within a second, I will get him. If I talk to any minister in Nigeria, they can get him.
Thank you.
This is Timothy calling from Ajo.
Welcome.
The problem we have in Nigeria is that we do everything in secrecy. There's no way we see the strongest security. He has access to the best food. See, the kind of water we drink here, President does not drink it. If Nigeria is okay, then what is there to be afraid of? For the budget of 18, you see, as someone said, you scratch my back, scratch your back. The state governor know what he's doing. They know what they are doing. I mean, for someone to buy tickets, to buy a form for every state legislature in the state, you can imagine how would you question someone like that.
Thank you. Have a great morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Ajibola calling from Nicola.
Yes.
So I didn't want to call this morning before, but I heard somebody said the National Assembly under the control of Fabio is doing a very good job. So, and that is the same thing. So I also want him to also know that the same thing is happening on the state level, that they are also doing a very good job by passing the budget anyhow so that we have anyhow results. The moment you do things anyhow, you have anyhow results. And that is why everything is going down. Anyhow input and have a good result. That is why we have it. Things is done anyhow in this nation. No consequence for tampering a national gazette. Nobody is to be punished. And that kind of National Assembly is doing very fine. And that is why the State Assembly are also doing very fine. Doing anything anyhow. Passing a whole budget of the year. No checkmate. So my own best advice is better we could scrap both.
Bola Williams says, Season's greeting to Madam Sage and Mr. Fuad, only reflecting on politicians and their cronies. Last year's budget alone, how has it been enjoying it? They're using... Please turn down the volume on your radio. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. Look, I want to speak on the president traveling out of the country. You see, there is nothing wrong when the president travels. The only problem is that there was no information about him being traveling. But let me say this and let everybody hear. The West African, this Sub-Saharan West Africa to be specific, the West Africa has not grown up for democracy. This thing called democracy, the way it is being defined, it is not a West African thing. The way its people, it's not the fault of the government alone. The way the people, the way we reason and the way the government operates, we are not grown up yet for what is defined as.
All right, let's take this one. I think we have another call coming through. Okay, please make it back. We have anyone expecting anything different from what is happening with this mere academic exercise they call budget passing across the country must be a learner. The process of how they got to their assemblies, because the National Assembly that was supposed to ask questions on behalf of the citizens are now mere workers of the presidency. We really have nothing to show for the rest of the world. As for democracy and governance, it's really a shame. Second base, Steve Oferi from Ijanikin. We have here from Funshaw, good morning, Mainland FM. The president is probably going to France before going to the conference in Dubai. Maybe there's a little presentation and the subsequent exercise, especially under the APC-led government. Hence, the effect of the rubber stamp lawmaking, which has increased the level of mediocrity, sycophancy, and hypocrisy, which has brought democracy to a standstill. No thanks to the activities and the roles of those anti-democratic forces who mismanaged their way to the corridors of power in Nigeria. I'm ashamed for the country. Again, if the president let him travel to Afghanistan, I don't care, because the country is being run like some secret cult. Speak to Igbokwe from Ikeja. Okay. Hello.
Hello, ladies.
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Lɪධᴇ from Solo this morning.
Yes.
My own condition of the president time. If I should be able to give us the traveling visit of our president. Assuming in this country, our president will leave the country. They have conference in Dubai on the 11th to 17th. He was traveling in December. Where is it? I don't know. I don't understand the way they run their government in this now and after where they have together. They put themselves on the budget.
All right, thank you very much. Hello.
My name is Victor.
All right.
Okay. Now, see, what in fact, that is suffering just like many of other people of Nigeria are really rooting, not suffering, we are rooting. And is now calling to defend the president, to always looking for excuses to give on why president actually because this is an insult on our collective society and was surrounded by the enemies. If he's taking it out of the country because he must do it and be guided by the rule of.
All right, thank you very much for your insight. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is okay from Ikeja.
Welcome.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
My regards to Mr. Ford too. See here, when it comes to the budget of a thing, you see here, you don't went the assembly to the state assemblies now. They'll be watching what's going on in the national assembly. They are doing that same thing. So it's like business as usual, and nobody's talking. Understand? Then on the other part, the media officer felt because of the backlash they usually get whenever he's out of the country. Maybe that was why they decided not to tell us the actual destination he's heading to before the Abu Dhabi summit. Meanwhile, Nigeria is to lend there. They better stay at home and fight what is facing them here, rather than pursuing what is not pursuing them. That's my take this morning. Good morning.
All right. Let's go to messages now. On Facebook, we have Tēmítọ́pọ̀ from Ijagamo, who says, "Hello, Mainland FM. Let's call a spade a spade. It's glaring that the press placed them on part-time basis, which they would only be paid when they sit at the assembly. Nigerians cannot continue to allow them to waste taxpayers' money by just collecting a huge amount for nothing, as the assembly is not performing their function in such a way that it will bring benefit to the people that elected them into office. On the frequent president's visit out of the country without giving us specific location of his whereabouts is highly ridiculous, and the body language simply shows that he's not accountable to the authority, including the citizens. If he feels his life is in danger with the massive security surrounding him, he should speak out to Nigerians so that everyone will stop talking and complaining about the same issue." Tēmítọ́pọ̀ from Ijagmo community. This is exactly why I tried to shut down that narrative that the caller started pushing, talking about, oh, the president might be in danger. That's why I immediately tried to stop immediately. There is nothing in this report that indicates that there's any danger to the president. Nothing at all. The conversation is very simple. Why is it that we do not have specifics when in a very vulnerable position? And even that thought is the thought of the opposition party. For example, Atiku Abubakar, who has said it's insensitive that you're on a plane jetting out of the country for some summit when your people already talking about some sort of danger posed to the president. I don't know where you're getting that report from, and it definitely was not from me or on this platform. So please, when you're calling and you're saying certain things, you need to understand the consequences of your speech. And that's why sometimes when we show that is in tandem with this so-called narrative that this person has brought, don't bother to share it. Please just keep it to yourself and have that conversation with your friends. Thank you. Two stories on the table once again for those who are just joining the conversation. We're talking about the speed at which the state anomalies in that document And what does this mean when it comes to accountability and transparency, especially because we have a National Assembly who at this time is not exactly known for deep scrutiny. National Assembly that we're still debating at this time, that we consider to be a neglect, or it deprives us an opportunity to really see the intellectual depth of these individuals. That's what we're talking about. The consequence of that, the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency. The report says he's going to Europe, and then he's going to attend the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week Summit that starts 11th of January and ends on the 17th. That's what we're talking about. Thank you. Sage, this is Chooks from Dagri. What we are experiencing is a retrogression in our democracy. This of our national anthem, then the Senate simply stamps it. The states have also called the president's trip, and its handling speaks of the lack of accountability of this APC government led by Tinubu. Let them not say we do not. The politicians are now united against the populace, yet the populace are yet to realize it. We have good morning, Sage. My name is Pastor Sunday from Magboro. My submission on the issue of discussion. First, those blaming the president also on the issue of budget being scrutinized by either state or National Assembly. It's just to some discrepancy in the budget. Good morning, Mainland FM. What do you expect from Tinubu departing Nigeria? This man told us that he... Okay, thank you, Bonnie, for being time. So let him go and recharge himself. Thank you. Okay. Sage, I want to ask a question. Must the president attend all international conference? Why do we have 2 foreign ministers? Buhari was always traveling abroad for health reasons, and his spokesperson were telling us otherwise. Sage, it's quite unfortunate that the issue of... And I don't know what is wrong in the passage. There's nothing wrong with the passage. But are you doing what it requires? Nigeria's budget is rub my back, I rub yours. Nobody else to see. It happened here in Nigeria. Don't forget that. The budget carried the hope of the Nigerian citizen over the year. But when it is rubbished, the future of the Nigerian person is also rubbished. Because I'm guessing you mean the beginning determine the end. The president can also travel anywhere, but let him give us governance. God bless Nigeria. We will not complain if another regime comes and also rules or behave this way. Remain blessed. Grandma Maggie from Oshodi. Good morning, group. Compliments of the season. Nigeria is no longer practicing democracy. Tinubu has turned democracy into autocracy. Highly disappointed in Tinubu the way he's running the country. I could not believe he's running it like this. I be from the country. Benga, calm down. Okay, calm down. Wale Gudoku from GRA Ikeja says, good morning, Sage. Actually, I will read it. Please, if Madam Ife and Mr. Kangwinina can push their own narrative, kindly let any other person that has contrary view push their own narrative too. Do you remember that President Samora Machel was bombed out of the sky? Do you remember that President Pierre of Burundi was... I don't know what's wrong with you, honestly. But, okay. Thank you very much, and it gives an opportunity for people to start to form different narratives. But again, I'm refusing to allow certain narratives to fly. They're when we're having conversations here on radio. It is inappropriate to start pushing narratives that you know are extremely detrimental just because of the things that we say. So when you start pushing a narrative that is not only... You can have that conversation at your own convenience when you're hanging out with your friends, like at 10 a.m. for Global View. I'm Sage Baba.